right with you 1 second. Facebook, what's going on, man? YouTube, what's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up, world? This is Phantom J. Once again, we back at you with our podcast, our weekly podcast, man. And we excited to be on here. My partner, DJ Black, he'll be on with us very soon. Hopefully, Jay Austin to come on in. Right now, I'm kind of scrambling a little bit. You know, we had some things going on today. People had moving around. We're moving around doing some different things. And, you know, we're going to do our weekly podcast. I'm excited about it, man. And, you know, this going to be a touchy subject. And we want people to chime in on this one. So it's going to be live. It's going to be live. Man, I'm excited, and I hope everybody just tuning in, watching. Man, we're gonna get everything going in a second. Man, I'm just really excited, man. You know, we just doing what we do. Excited about the program, man. A year now, I don't even feel like it. And we live right now. The subject tonight, man: can a woman have a high body count? And as such, as some men, can a woman have a high body count as some men and still be respected as a lady? Are there certain things women shouldn't do that men do? We're gonna deal with that tonight, because a lot of times, you know, in society, we want to feel like we equal, and we're gonna talk about it tonight, and we're gonna get live with it. And we're gonna get in this discussion, man. So we just want to make sure that everybody's live and in tune with what we got going on. Man, I'm for one excited, man. We got a few things in hip hop news that's going on right now, man. We all heard about the controversy with Savage, 21 Savage, talking about. Hold on 1 second, you all. Sorry about that, folks. We had to take care of something a little bit. So the controversy with 21 Savage, speaking on Nas, saying that Nas wasn't relevant anymore to his generation. You know what I think about the youngsters, man? When they speak of relevancy, if they don't hear you in the clubs, they don't feel that you're relevant amongst the younger generation. You know, Boosie made the same statement earlier today about Jay-Z and Nas. He said when he goes to the clubs in Atlanta, they don't play Jay-Z and Nas. But one thing that you got to understand about rap music started off regional. So a lot of things that they play on the West Coast and East Coast, they don't play down south. Now you got national artists, you got that's in certain markets, in southern markets, like Jay-Z is one of the top tier, Nas is one of the top tier artists that's on a national scale. But you hear some artists on the West Coast, you're not gonna hear on the East Coast. You're gonna hear some artists on the East Coast and West Coast that you're not gonna hear in the South. So, but their relevancy or what they're conveying is that if you're not being played in the club, you're not relevant. Now, he said that the generation now, the younger generation, they understand Jay-Z is a businessman. But as far as his MC skill, his top tier skill as an MC, they don't feel is relevant. So Nas and 21 Savage, man, they made a song that was fire. Now I don't want to play back on it because it was I don't want to it had no issues with copywriting. But it's good and it's off the chain, man. And they did well, man, with the record. And I think that a lot of the young artists got to connect with artists like Jay-Z and Nas to really build that bridge. And I think a lot of times us as elders, we don't build bridges with the young people, and we try to disconnect from the young people. I think the artists now that are more successful that came up when I came up, they're doing music with the younger people, and that's the thing that's really is a thing that you really have to do is engage with the young people and stay plugged in with the young artists, man. And it'll keep the conversation moving. So with 21 Savage and Nas, man, that was a little backlash, and 21 Savage said that Nas not relevant in his generation, but I think when they speak of relevancy, they can't hear that music in the club, and I can kind of understand that. But when we were coming up, we didn't have the luxury of hearing artists in the club, rap artists. We had to hear them from our cousins that stayed up north. If we were close to the radio station in Monroe, so we had music that was coming from New York, that was coming from California, Egyptian Lover. We had the bass game back then. That was a whole genre of music where it was just a whole album full of bass music, and it was music that was done with bass competitions. So the whole history of hip hop is something that's on a whole tier, and I'm wishing that the younger artists really could see how the artistry and the culture of rap music really evolved, man, over the times. Hip hop is the culture, and rap music is a part of that culture. Breakdancing is a part of that culture. Breaking was originated when you had the break beat when the artist would play a record, and it'd be a break beat, and then a B girl or a B boy will come out and dance on the break beat, and they did all types of moves, and those type of moves were evolved into breakdancing. Now they done took that to the next level in Japan, man. They taking, I think, breakdancing now is a sport. So it's oh, I see you got your what's up, Jay? I see you got your avatar straight. You got everything lined up on your avatar. That's dope. Yeah. What's going on?
All right, what's up with it?
Man, I'm good. We just running over this hip hop news. So in the history of breaking, so that's what that was, man. And it's just that evolution of that, man. Nas gave a big up to Glorilla. Glorilla is a young artist that's coming up, and she really appreciated that nod from a legend like Nas to really acknowledge her and her music and what she's trying to do. She evolved, and we watching these artists evolve, these young artists evolve, and we got to stay tapped in, as they say, with the youth in the veins of the youth. Still no word on Young Thug in his case. So we're just hearing word, but they said him and Gunna in good spirits, and they looking at there's some issues with the DA or the prosecutor. I'm sorry, that it's some things that's going on with that. I don't have all the full details of what's going on with that, but we gonna keep you posted and let you know what's going on. Also, man, man, it's just so much that's going on in the world, man. We dealing with all type. Everybody looking at the they on the heels of the for the student loan. If we're gonna have the student loan forgiveness, man, I got a couple racks up in that thing from going to college, and hopefully I can get some of that that debt relieved. But right now, what it's looking like that the House and Congress, they really gotta the House and the Senate really gotta focus on and see if that's gonna be something that they want to do, because the judges right now they put a block on the student loan forgiveness program. I filled out for it, and some of my coworkers themselves, they filled it out, and some of them got approved. One of them got approved for 20,000. So we trying to see, what's gonna happen with that, and what type of moves gonna be made there. So we just gonna keep on moving, man. Tonight, man, it's gonna be something that's gonna be big. We had kind of a controversy with. We just looking at something that's really, that's obvious. Can men do what women do when it comes to having a body count? What is a body count? A body count is sexual partners. Now, according to statistics, the average woman in society has at least 4.3 partners in her lifetime. 4.3 partners. And I think the man has 6.3 partners. And they deemed risky behavior when you go past 10 partners. Why is it that women feel that they can do things that men do, when it's obvious we're two different natures and we're two different, we have two different makeups? One individual makes the human being, the other human being the male gives the seed, and the woman clothe that baby and make a baby and clothe it with flesh and blood and bone by God's grace. Regardless of what religion you in or what you believe in, we all know since the beginning of time, man and woman made children. But what is it in the scripture? All across, as I sat down and pondered, what is it in the scripture that females are held in such high regard, and those that are having promiscuous relationships are considered whores? And why aren't men really highlighted as being whores for having a massive body count? Now, women will say, hey, we could do what we want to do. We can do it just as much as men. That's true. We can't say that as men. We don't say that. I don't know too many men that can say we can do what women do. We can't have children. We can't breastfeed. No matter what we do, we can't do what women do. We don't have the biological makeup to do what women do. So is it fair to say that a woman can do just as much as a man? Now in society, you got women that are excellent in management companies, CEOs of companies. And I think that as far as in society and running society and moving society, we need women in society to balance us off, to have that compassionate side. Because if you dealt with all men in a world like this, man, there's no compassion, because men are really not naturally compassionate. God gave that to the woman. So to balance that off, because we warring. Men always at war. We always taking something. We always going through countries, killing leaders, destroying nations. That's what we do as men. But with a woman gives you that softer side, that more compassionate side. A woman can give you that more diplomatic side, that you can go into a country. If you want some resources, if you want some things, you can strike deals with those individuals in that country that you can make some peaceful economy as we do all of the global economics in the economy. But when it comes to your sexual escapades, your sexual desires, your sexual relationship, are you as a woman, are you respected the same as a man? And if not, why are you not respected the same as a man if you can do what a man do? What is it about a woman that's different from a man outside the obvious makeup of a man? His look, his feel, how he's built. We can't bear children. You don't want to bear children. Now, a man, he can go out and have 20, 30 babies. And you'll never know unless he tell you. Or you'll never know unless them children come forth from the women that he had them children with. But when a woman is bearing children, her life and her lifestyle is bore witness in the children that she had and living with her. Be it she was married and had children, or she had children with multiple partners. Her story is in her children. And a lot of times you're dealing with a woman that have children. Nothing wrong with a woman having children. I'm going to say that off top. That when you're dealing with a woman with children, there's a level of responsibility you may not be ready for. There may be some that you are ready for. But are you willing to accept a woman in your life that has a high body count? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to accept a woman that does this, and you can just look at it and sign it off and write it off to her past? What you think on it, Jay?
Well, me personally, I have issue with it for me.
Okay.
Now, women can do whatever it is that they want to do.
Right.
And they shouldn't be seen any differently than a man.
Right.
Because, that they have choices just like we do.
Right.
So, and then there's always going to be some man out there that is willing to accept this woman and her past.
Right.
Whatever that looks like, because some guys, if the woman's fine enough, she can have 12 kids.
Right.
By 13 different daddies.
Right.
If she's great in bed.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. Some guys just don't care about those things.
Right.
So, as they always say, there's somebody for everybody.
Right.
There's always somebody willing to take on this person, this woman that has a high body count. And
right.
Like I've said before, that I've spoken to women that didn't prefer men with what they considered a high body count. And then, of course,
that's fair. That's fair.
And the body count is going to be different for each person. Right. So what I may consider high, someone else may not.
Right.
Well,
so what do you in a woman, what do you consider a high body count? What do you consider a high body count?
My preference is 5 or less. Okay.
That's average. That's pretty much average.
So 5 or less, I'm good with. But I've dated people that have had more than that.
Right.
So would I consider some of them marriage material for me? I have.
Right. How did it turn out?
Well, I mean, in a number of cases, it came out good.
Right.
And some of them it didn't. But that's that had nothing to do with them and their body count. It just had something to do with our personalities clashing and them not being ready or me not being ready. But
So you don't think them having those type of partners and having multiple partners you don't think them having that affected a bonding relationship with you?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Because whenever, in most cases, when you have a female that gives you her body, then if you are her type of person or her person or whatever you want to call it, then it's not going to matter.
Okay.
That overrides all of those things that has been done in the past.
Okay.
So all those bodies that she's collected in the past. If you're her person, you're just her person.
Right. Do you think? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was saying that because I was reading some information and it dealt with how, as a woman, she by nature she bonds with a man because by nature she carries children, so she bonds with children. She nurtures her children. So, do you think that a woman, as her count goes up, do you think that bonding is affected and suffered in relationships? And do you think that depression can play a part in her having that high body count?
No. I don't think it affects them in bonding with whoever, because like I said, if they like that person, they're going to end up bonding with them.
Okay.
And as depression goes, they out there doing what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? So some of them just happen to let somebody run up in them raw too many times, by too many different dudes, and they shot up the club,
right?
And they got a baby,
right?
So is it whose fault is it? You can blame fault on both parties,
right?
For being irresponsible,
right.
So if you are going to go out and sleep with multiple people, then use some protection. Make sure you cover yourself. I know some people say, well, I don't like condoms, male and female. Well, you know what comes with it.
Right.
So either you take this alternate feeling, or you end up taking this baby. Which one you want?
That's true. Brandon Abdul he go get on me. Moosey King, my brother B. He said, does a man really want to marry another man's fantasy? Do you think that a man really? Do you think a man really want to marry another man's fantasy? If you know that this woman has multiple partners and you with her, and she's known for that, you think you can go as far as marrying that individual, James?
Well, me personally, I couldn't, but I'm quite sure there are some guys that could.
And why you couldn't?
Because that's not my preference.
Gotcha.
So every woman is the object of some man's fantasy, whether they've had them or not.
Right.
So if you have an attractive woman, then they're going to be in someone's imagination one way or the other, whether they've had them or whether they haven't.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's right.
So, that's something that you just have to deal with. And the same with men. There are women out there that have these men with, multiple bodies that they have under their belt. And the women feel that okay, maybe this man is thinking about this other woman when we're having sex, or whatever it may be. So it weighs on both people's psyche.
But do you think women think that way? Do you think women avoid men with high body count? Because naturally, a woman wants what other women want. So if a woman wants what other women want, they know if this man got 10 children, let's say he got 5, he's known to have 15 children. He's known to have 15 children, and he still can convince another woman to go with him. What is it in that woman that though he has this high body count, he still can get those women, as opposed to men with a woman with the same high body count, and we avoid them? What's the difference between a man avoiding a woman and women really going after the man that really can get those children?
Well, let me say one thing that you said. So women want what
other women want,
right. Not necessarily, but they don't want what other women have had.
Okay.
So, but you also have, with this guy with the 15 kids and going out and getting someone else and them having whatever type of relationship, you have to look at the type of woman that they're getting too.
Right.
So, in most cases, they're not receiving what society says, or what we would call the high quality woman.
Right.
So they're getting something similar to what they are.
Right. So of the body count is what you're saying?
Of the body count, of the caliber, of the whatever you want to put it as.
Right.
So, and then, let's take some of these rappers, right?
Right.
NBA YoungBoy, how many kids he got? Like,
man, I think he got 10, I think. I have to check and see. I know Nick Cannon got 12.
Yeah, so he has 10, Nick Cannon has 12. So they're getting women that are after them because of their status, right? So they can get not high quality women, but thirsty women that are looking for something.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when you take the average person with the average guy that has 15 kids,
he got 7.
Okay. Yeah. So now if you take the average guy that has we'll use 7 kids.
Right.
He's not getting the same type of women that Nick Cannon and NBA YoungBoy has.
Okay, what you mean? Rich women, higher status women, or because I've seen
high status, rich, wherever you want to put it at. Okay. They're not getting those type of women and having kids by them.
Okay.
They're getting women that are on a lesser social economical status.
Okay. So, do you mean in as far as how the aesthetics of them as well, or just socioeconomically they pretty, but they making average $40,000, $30,000 a year. They're not dealing with no high class women when they have those type of women.
So you have some really nice looking women out there,
right? That
have fallen victim to a man's conversation,
right.
So they may be in the $30,000, $40,000 a year range, and they just fell victim to some guy's conversation.
Right.
So now she's ending up with multiple people and multiple kids by different men,
right?
Because they are promising them, that, hey, babe, I'm gonna stay with you, and they can continue to get these guys because they're considered a prize in
their eyes.
Yeah, in their eyes, or on their social economical level.
Right.
I'm gonna just say that.
Okay.
So, if you got this pretty chick in the hood and you're a hood dude, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he gonna have some babies with her.
Right.
Right. What is it that we don't really we don't really, particularly women, require the men or demand the men, hey, if we gonna have it, you didn't talk the talk, okay, you got it. And you really don't put pressure on that man to marry you. What do you think the dynamic could change if women will put pressure on men to marry them?
No, what women need to start realizing, they can't make a man marry them.
Right.
They can't put pressure on a man to marry them. Their vagina, can't keep a man. It can't make a man want to do anything. The man has to want to be a certain way. He has to want to be faithful. He has to want to be in a relationship, a long-term commitment with this woman.
Right. That's right. I mean, you know, I was we was having this conversation the other day, and this woman says, one of the individuals said that it's her business. It's her business. She does what she want to do in her body, but when she's dealing with a man, if she had those many partners, it's not the current individual's business as long as she's not doing it with him. See, when she said not doing it with him, that means she still a do it. She just ain't gonna do it with him. So if you found out you with this woman, she tell you, hey, you know, blase blah, you seen she a nice woman, y'all up the stream, and you find out that she got a high body count, how would you deal with that?
I mean, I would have to.
Would you
I
leave
would have to let her go.
Wow.
Because that's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I want.
Right.
I'm not interested in going every restaurant we go to. You know, it's a possibility that we're gonna run across somebody that's been up inside of her.
Right.
That's not what I want.
Right.
So
even if you say 5 years into it, y'all got
discover this before that.
Yeah, if she but she her mindset is that she feel it's none of your business.
No, I would ask.
Okay, what if she don't tell you and you find out later, 5, 6, 7 years, y'all got houses, y'all got material things. So is that grounds for divorce for you if you find that out? If you got everything,
the way that I feel right now.
Yeah, if you got everything, you achieved everything in life.
And what material stuff that comes and goes. That don't mean nothing to me.
Okay.
So, you know, and then I'm quite sure people will be like, that's your pride. Yeah, maybe it is.
Right.
But I like what I like.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if it's 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, but hopefully if I do my due diligence, then I will find out that information prior to.
Right.
And I used to really ask. Then I started saying, do I really want to know? You know.
Right. Do you think it's hard? Have that ever happened to you, that you found that out? And if it did, how did it feel?
You know, I can't really say that the people that I have been in a truly serious relationship with, they have not had, from what I discovered, a high body count.
Mm-hmm.
I did. So there was one individual that told me that she had a one-night stand.
Okay.
With someone of the opposite color.
Right.
And even though, no, I'm not even gonna go there. But they told me they had a one-night stand, and I just didn't feel comfortable with that anymore.
Okay.
So my feelings for them, they started to deteriorate or erode at that particular time.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just not what I want in my life.
What if she's in love with you, man? She's in love with you, and y'all have, because I'm asking these questions because we seeing the effects of what's real in everyday life when you're dealing with a man that really don't want a woman with a high body count, because women feel that they can do what men do. Yes, you can be, God gave everybody free will, but also there's a reward for good and evil. It's a reward for right and wrong. So we have to really look at that as well. What is it that you see where I'm going is that you invested your time, Jay, and you invested your time, and now you're looking at, she done revealed this to you. She didn't have 15 men in her life.
Well,
she didn't have 15 men in her life.
Okay, so what? I invested my time. I learned something.
Okay.
See, that's what people don't understand.
But you love. You just can't detach us. You just shared, laugh. Y'all done been through ups. Y'all done been through that. Okay.
Who can't detach what?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, see, and that's what's wrong with people these days. When they find out something about someone that they just really don't want to deal with or feel like dealing with, then they because they feel like they owe this person something or whatever, I can detach easily.
Okay.
Easily.
Okay.
And that's what's wrong with a lot of people today. And that's why we get into these situations where I can't let you go. I can't lose you. Blase, blase. And then they end up hurting these women or these men.
You say blase, blase. That's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
And then they end up hurting this woman or this man because they are so obsessed and feel like they're so attached that they can't remove themselves or find somebody else. That's dangerous.
Right.
So I can detach. I can let go.
Right. Exactly. Because I'm gonna say this. Miss White, Miss Latanya White said explain what a body count is. A body count is how many sexual partners you had in your lifetime. That's what a body count is how many sexual partners you didn't have in your lifetime.
Does that include both oral and
any sexual relationship? Just having a body count, you didn't have, that's an aspect of that person's body.
All right, so I just want to clarify that.
Yeah, having a body count.
Some people will say, "Hey, I just ate or blew." So
that's having an aspect. I know in Islam, fornication and adultery is a serious crime, because adultery is something that it murders a marriage, period. Bottom line, if you married to a woman, Jay, you love her, and a man come in stealing your rent, that and killed and murdered your relationship. You the trust eroded. Fornication is frowned upon and is punishable by death because it erodes the society, and it makes individuals not want to marry because you have access to sex on a free will basis that we don't want to marry no more. You got a lot of young people that not thinking about marriage. You got a lot of young people, 50% of black men, 45 to 50% of black men are childless. They don't have any children. A lot of them don't want to bring children in the world because of how it is. Free love can have an effect on an individual by him or her not being able to bond. You may be able to do it, Jay, but the next person may not be able to. You comparing that person. You may have the individual that the sex was good, and you made that person dogged you out, he gone about his business, but you remembering how the sex felt. And another guy come along, he's a good guy, he does everything, he do everything that you want him to do, but he's not comparable to John that laid it down right.
Well,
so
well,
now
I mean, I've had conversations with people, women that have stated, you know, man, I really like this dude, but I wish I could take his mind and put it in whoever's body because of the sex and because of how the body type was.
Yeah. I'm around a lot of women every day that say, you know, they met some great men, but the sex wasn't good. And that's a tragedy, because now it's a prerequisite for us staying together. We got to stay together now, live together. Really, the key, the code is we really got to have sex first to see if we compatible. That's what we got to do, is have sex first to see if we compatible. That's what this is about. It ain't necessarily about us staying together. Yeah, we staying together, but it's the sex good. So that's what's happening. Black, what's going on? You done touched down. That boy done touched down.
Yo, what's that?
I see Sacktown in the building.
What it is?
Yeah, what's going
on?
What's going on now?
Y'all start pissing them off yet?
Man, LaTanya say, let's see. She said, we what's in front of us for looking in the rear view. That's true. That's true, LaTanya. That is absolutely true. But when you dealing in relationships, and as you know, we dealing in relationships, we got to know each other's history. We got to know each other, how we deal in certain situations. And you don't necessarily know that. You don't necessarily have to know the detail of what you did with that individual, but it can affect what you got going on in your present relationship.
But on the cool, I never really asked about a body count per se.
Yeah.
But I always say, being popular in a small town, if I see you affiliated with an ops or somebody I run with, I want to know how you affiliated with them.
Right.
You know.
That's right.
And I see
relationship. Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
I see Ms. White's comment down here. Relationships are what you make them. Yeah, they are what you make them, but they also are what came up from your past, because you could have a violent history. You could have a history of molestation. You could have, so those things affect your relationship, or can have effect on your relationship. So you need to know certain things about a person's past in order to identify how to react or assist them with getting over certain things.
Okay.
Right.
And for the women that says that was the past and they learn from their mistakes, would they preach that to their daughters?
Right.
Don't do this, don't do that like I did.
Right.
Or what? I mean, because someone posted under the post that I used to be like that, but I'm not like that anymore. Everybody make mistakes, blah, blah. So if you call it a mistake, if you call that a mistake, would you preach to your daughters or females coming up under you that they should be more careful on how they use their bodies?
My thing is, what's a mistake? Because a mistake is something that happens.
Unintentional. It's unintentional.
Right. So you intentionally laid down with all these different people. Hindsight is 20/20. But after you pop the first one or two, so you still making mistakes?
Right. That's error. That's willful now. That's willful deviation of.
But see, the deal was this, and you'll be called old fashioned, and
cool.
That was back in the day.
What up?
But when I was growing up, my mom used to always preach to my sister that just because a guy praising her today, telling her she beautiful, she pretty, just to get in her panties, that after he do that, he'll run off and be with somebody who was black as the road out there, who hair this long, and she'll be using her thumb and her baby finger, touching her fingernail.
Right.
So women were looked up on as mothers of civilization. They were praised. They were queens. And I also would hear moms say, like, when pops would go out to the clubs and things, she would say, if somebody come to her with something and she may mention it to him, she'll say, yeah, they say you was with such and such. She say, but all I'm gonna say is, whatever you're doing out there, keep it out there. But as soon as you bring something home, it's gonna be a problem. Right. So she didn't say, well, you cheat, I'm gonna cheat.
Right.
She didn't just jump out there and degrade her body because he out there, so-called what they say, a man gonna be a man. He out there doing his thing. That didn't make her jump up and start screwing Fred and Joe and Michael up the block.
Right.
She let him do that.
Right.
But she may
Which she didn't accuse him. She say, if you are doing that, if you bring something home, it's a problem.
Right.
And then that's it. She didn't have nothing else to say about the situation. She was done.
Right. See, and the thing about it is that these type of rules. Go ahead, Jay. Black.
But a lot of times, women they do it, I do it. Women that learn how to have sex without feelings, like men been doing forever. Now the woman has mastered that. And so,
I don't see an issue with it.
But the thing, do you think that they don't have feelings though, Black? Like, do you
they
think
don't have feelings?
But Jay,
they don't have feelings.
They are.
I can tell you for a fact
they are affected. And when you do what men do, you're gonna become like a man. Now you got a lot of women that do what men do, and they have the mentality of a man, and you're dealing with a lot of masculine women because you want to do what men do.
I know some women that have
because you hurt in the inside of you say this nigga did this. I'm finna hurt as many men as I can.
Yeah, they gonna screw his daddy, they gonna screw his friend, they gonna screw his brother, they gonna screw his cousin. Right. But at the end of the day, that's miles on their body. And I preach so much. I'm known for whenever a lot of people relate to me when they say we talk about men and women, the difference they refer to when I said that the man has a pole and the woman has a hole.
Man, don't nobody care about that. Don't nobody care about that.
You care? No. The reason you should care about it is that woman's body is still getting used and abused, whereas a man, all we doing is going.
You know how many women vaginas out there looking like Arby's roast beef, and dudes are still hitting it.
Yeah, but they're not understanding that though, Jay.
They don't. No, but I'm saying so they're wearing their bodies out. Okay, so the guy who wants to lay with them and be with them, grow with them, whatever, if he's not being 100% pleased sexually because she's worn out, that could be a problem.
That can be an issue, and he could be a good
guy. All the dude gonna do is close their legs tighter and try to go for what he know. Because there's some women out there that say the same thing about men. They penis look like a clit. So they're still not getting satisfied.
Right, that's true.
One way or the other.
I ain't never seen that. True. Now, if his penis look like a click, he doing something different.
How do you look at men and women the same, though?
But like I say, the bottom line is, if you if you go outside right now,
Black, you seen it in the inbox, Jay.
You go get
men without children is a red flag.
Go and get a stick. Galvanized
to have children at a certain age.
There
now,
are.
I'm red flag.
Yeah.
Grizzle. Go get a stick. Go get a stick.
Like Big Mama used to plant. Don't nobody care.
Big Mama used to have them big plants in the thing, and she had a stick.
If she had a stick and she was sick or look good enough, no one's going to care. He's not going to care, one way or the other. You know you have.
They gonna care. Hey, I've heard no. That's because we were blessed enough not to care. don't mean people don't care. Because I hear several, I see several guys on the timeline saying that women wore out.
And you have some that
do it harder, but he ain't got nothing harder to hit.
Right.
He ain't got nothing harder to hit. Because her walls are loose. So that can be a problem. The guy who just wants sex from him, of course he don't care. But guess what? Once that guy do that sex, I give the average man a screw a woman 3 times before he move on to the next.
Black. What if it's not her? What if it's not her? What if it's him? What if he just too small and he think the hole too big? There's always a reverse to that.
It's always that. No. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about the woman who then went out there and sex and abused her body. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. So either way it goes,
we got a lot of men out there.
Somebody being pleased. We were talking about somebody being pleased in a relationship, so it can go both ways.
No, that's probably what you were talking about. I was talking about the fact that a woman can get wore out, whereas a man don't.
What you stated was if a man's not pleased in a relationship, and I said, well, they'll just put their legs together and they'll go for what they know. So we were speaking.
And then I came on there and said that a lot of guys say that the woman was, wore out. And I'm speaking about the woman who went out there and just sex, got 50 sex partners at the age of 25.
Right.
That whose vagina can get worn out. Don't believe me? Yeah. Contact the gynecologist. They would tell you. A gynecologist would tell a woman when a guy's too big for her vagina.
Yeah.
And I'm not telling you what I'm not telling you. I'm not pulling shit out my ass. I'm talking about what I know. I'm speaking facts.
Oh, hold on. So April said the question is when you meet a man or a woman, are your thoughts really about the body count? Over a period of time, it is.
Yeah.
Because of what you
add to my body count and add to hers. But if we start getting serious about each other, getting serious about each other, I want to know. But
let me address April.
That's true. Go ahead.
Let me address April. Yeah. It's not about the body count, April, when you first meet them. But on the same note, being that I'm a DJ, a promoter, and I'm in the public eye, I'm a public figure. When I go somewhere and I step in a room and everywhere, every table, every guy that dapped me down, that hit my girl, I got a problem with that. So that way, it can get to, hey, who is that? I used to talk to him back in the day. Okay, hey, what's up, Blade? What's up, Cher? Hey, who is that? Oh, man, I used to talk to that boy 2 years ago. Okay, then another. What's up, Black man? Oh, hey, Cher. How you know him? Oh,
at least y'all go together. Familiar.
Right.
Yeah, we used to go together. So that's where it becomes an issue with me, because when a woman on my arm, I want to be able to step in there like, look at black girl, you know what I'm saying? Instead of, oh man, everybody done hit her. So that's why when you're popular in a small town, a lot of people either date up, which means 5 or more years older, or they date under 5 or more years under, or they go get them somebody from another town or another state.
Right. Latanya said that those type of women are damaged for unknown reasons. A lot of times that's why action is important, because you don't know a person and what have happened to them. Yeah, they got a high body count. But what happened? I know a girl about 20 years ago. This girl, she contracted HIV. This girl was very, very pretty. She just had HIV. And the thing, what happened with her is that she was molested when she was a child. And she said the only way that she thought she had to relate to a man was through sex. So she would have sex with these men, and she had sex with a lot of men. And she ended up getting HIV. It evolved to AIDS. She eventually died. Very, very beautiful, pretty woman. But her abuse, her sexual abuse, being molested. That's why you ask the questions, because you going into a situation, you may do something, You may say something, your voice may sound like the abuser that mistreated her. She going off on you. You don't know why. That's why it is our business when you're in a relationship with us to let us know what's pushing your buttons and we don't know, and then we ask you what's wrong, and then you're not saying anything. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't about us being nosy and judging you and doing this, that, and the third. We got to know what happened to you. Yeah, you can have a high body count. On the flip side, it could be that you've been molested. Some men that I know, women that I know, their fathers had sex with them for years until they was teenagers, from 9 to 15 years old. So
let me pull up, y'all. Let me address April. She said, can you eventually love her, that woman, past her past? You know, if it's the situation I said about everywhere I go, I probably would have to get out of the relationship. I'm so self-centered till I'd be like, I just couldn't because of who I am. And I'm not saying that's a good thing, but I couldn't.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
I go to many places and people look for a reason to say something. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm somewhere, oh man, everybody had his girl. My cousin then ran a train on her. Man, I could have hit her. It's too much. I couldn't do it. You know,
see,
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say this. Yeah. Everyone has a past that you have to either accept or reject.
And I'll reject that one. But one with a past like that and who I am, I would have to reject it because
not even taking out your celebrity status. Everybody still has a past and an image that they have in their head about whatever person that they're being with or that they're with.
Right.
And if it doesn't fit that image in their head or in their heart, then they're going to reject whatever that person is that whose past does not fit the mold that they have selected for themselves. Mm-hmm. So
right. That's true. You know, and that's, go ahead, Jay. Black.
As a whole, though, like Betty Wright said in the song that I posted, women just really and everybody know this. If a man is a lane, women ain't gonna check out no lane. They not searching for a lane. But you get that popular guy and
getting all the women,
and everybody want him, and he done had a few women. Yeah. That's who the women want.
Yeah,
they see a lane that ain't hitting on nothing. He ain't got no girls. He walking around with his head down, looking like a dog with his tail between his legs. The woman ain't cutting for him.
Right.
But that popular guy that's riding around who all the girls like, oh man, look at him when he pull up, when we walk into the parties, everybody looking. Women want what other women want.
That's right. That's just the nature of a woman. That's what she do. And that's how society is that a woman.
And then most of the time after she done mess with all the popular guys, now she go and pick up and make a lane. She made him. Right. He wasn't nothing till she talked to him.
Right. That's right.
Well, if she fly enough, she can get some other dude too. So
she ain't gotta be fly. A guy, like my mom used to say, a guy will screw anything.
Exactly.
It's easy for a woman. It's easy for a woman to find somebody to screw.
Yeah.
That ain't nothing.
Yeah. That now Black. What if you see? So would you have an issue like we did the scenario with the person being molested, and that happened to her, though she may not have. Okay, we're gonna go down this road. She may not have the body count, but she was molested, and you find that out. How would you deal with that if she revealed that to you?
I mean, I know a girl right now, a young girl. She may be 21.
Yeah.
And she talks as if she's, addicted to sex, because she's like, soon as she get with a guy, first thing he want to do is sex. Then I say, well, you need to, regulate that and tell them no if they can't help. She say they don't want to help with bills or nothing, but they want sex. And then I say, well, you need to regulate that. She say, but I just love sex.
Yeah,
and and so that's kind of a lose-lose situation. But on the same note, we don't know,
you don't know until you get with them.
Whether she was fondled, I'm thinking, she had an issue with men fondling with her when she was little. And a lot of the girls that's addicted to sex are women that end up being addicted to sex.
Yeah,
had some type of molestation going on.
Yeah.
And it kind of, especially when they're young,
right,
10 years old or younger, or 12 and younger, and you got a grown-ass man fondling with you, sticking his finger in you or whatever, that can mess with their psyche.
Right.
And a lot of them become nymphos and addicted to sex.
Right. So it is, so like, when we're going to reiterate, it's very important to know about your past, because once an individual knows about your past and know what he's dealing with, he has more of a room, he has more of an opportunity to say, this is something I want to do or don't want to do. So you gotta look at that. And because you get into, I was going back and forth with somebody. Well, that's my business. That's what I know. It's my business too if we finna get in a relationship, because we're not playing boyfriend and girlfriend where we at in our 40s and 50s. We're not playing no boyfriend and girlfriend. So we need to know who we living with, who we dealing with, what we got going on. I can't sit and lie to you if something going on with me. If I got psychological issues, if I got this issue. We got to know what's going on.
But on the cool, it kind of bothers me when I hear about the molestations and how she deals with it. Because if she end up being a nympho and she wants sex 8 times a week, and then I know another couple who the girl was the woman is a nympho, the wife was a nympho, and she told her husband that him doing it 5 times a week or 6 times a week wasn't enough for her. Right. And so they decided to go and start swinging and bringing other people into the other guys into the relationship, and they eventually just recently got a divorce. It was cool at first, but he couldn't keep up with her sex drive. Right. And so like Phantom say, that's something you have to kind of discuss at the beginning. But a lot of times that don't come out until you're 2-3 years in that relationship.
But don't you think it's the hard questions? Don't you think the hard questions should be asked though, Black? And Jay, do you think the hard questions should be asked first?
How would you ask somebody? Do you
no, we're not talking about just off the rip. First day you meeting them, you drinking coffee. Hey, you sip, you an info. No, you don't do that. But as you build up, you with them a couple months or so, a couple months or so, you getting to know them, and then you want to know their history. It's important to know you. Why would
she gonna say that's none of your business?
Here's the thing. So
why would it be none of my business if we being serious?
As we continue as Black people not to take counseling seriously. Yeah. So a couple things that I believe in relationship counseling. So if you are in a serious relationship and you're looking towards getting married, and this is even before premarital counseling.
Right.
Having some type of relationship counseling so they can help assist in talking about these things that may be deal breakers that you're afraid to talk about. Mm-hmm. So you have neutral ground to have these discussions in a safe place, so you can decide that this is something that you want to continue on with or not. So you won't be wasting each other's time.
And that's fair.
And majority of the people, Austin, that I know that went to couples therapy, a lot of them didn't make it. The couple I was just talking about, they tried to go to couples therapy, and I'm gonna say 2 months after they started the therapy, they got a divorce.
Because the truth started coming out 9 times out of 10. The truth started coming out, man.
Right.
That's when you really engage in a relationship, if you know you dealing with a woman, and you dealing with somebody, man, you gotta ask. We afraid to ask the questions. Like you said, you may run them off, but that's a good thing if you run them off, because you know that wasn't the person for you, because the right person gonna address those issues with you. Hey, man, I've been through this. I've been people that open up to me about a lot of things that they've been through in their life on why they the way they are. You want to know why are you the way you are, so you won't have to knock somebody in the head because they try to fight you or do this or do that because of what have happened to their past. Yeah, it's my business if I'm dealing with you. Since it ain't none of my business, we need to go this way, you go that way. Because I'm not going to be in a relationship with you and I don't know what type of person you are. Man, do you want to be in a relationship, or what you want this to be? Like you tell me, what are we doing? What do we want this to be? And when it gets serious, you got to know those things. You got to know what type of person you're dealing with, the spending, sexual thing, all aspects. So when you taking this partner along with you, you know what to expect. Now, like you say, you know, the X factor happened, but you got something to work with, and you got something you can deal with. You got a choice.
At the end of the day, that woman that was like that was promiscuous, that was that was hoish, that was out there hoeing.
Yeah.
Once she's past that stage in her life, she don't care to revisit the past. So it's like you either gonna take her as who she is or move on.
Yeah. No, but you have to know. You have to visit that. You have to
come on now. Yeah, now you know they ain't gonna visit that.
Are you really over it? Are you really out of that stage? Or do you just feel like you're out of that stage? Is this just the stage that you're in?
You got women 45, 50 years old doing that, bro. And they still creeping, they still running with young dudes, they still doing the same thing that they did because you didn't ask the question because she said it ain't none of your business. And if a woman sitting up there telling a man that she claims she loves that it ain't none of your business, you need to run for the hills. Because if I love you, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to let you know what's going on with me, what's happening with me. Because what's happening with me is going to affect you. If you out here cheating and I'm going to the store and she probably done told some Jimmy juke to the dude, he come in here to do something to me, gun me down. And I don't even know what's going on because of who she is and what she's holding back. Because what she's holding back, and a lot of times, in most cases, but in a lot of times you can get killed behind people saying it ain't none of your business. It is my business. You need to know what's going on with me.
Latanya White had asked earlier, she said, men talk about women, but what has happened to that man so that he feel like he can judge any woman?
Judging somebody is saying you're doomed. You're not gonna amount to anything. We're not saying that. We pose the question: can men do what could women do what men do? And here are the consequences and what we've suffered, what we got going on. We got 70% of Black household. They headed by single mothers. The 2-parent household is coming up. You got Black women. They are the least ones to be married. You got 40% of 4 out of 10 of you of women, that's Black women, are gonna be married. A lot of our women are single. A lot of our women are single.
It's not judging.
That's not judging. That's not judging. That's just having your preference
and what you want.
Yeah. You probably don't. If a woman don't like the type of man I am, I'm not gonna say she judges me. She just don't. She may want a man. They got some status, got some money. Hey, you don't have that. I'm not gonna take that personal because of what her preference is. So men have preferences as well. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna add to this, Black. Men have been molested too.
Yeah.
Men have gone through things too today. On the flip side, they've done what they've done. But a lot of that's a taboo thing in the Black community.
But
a lot of done by their uncles and stuff. Like
a lot of men.
They're not
also to address Latanya's comment. A lot of men search. A lot of times, men search for women like their moms.
Yeah.
And if their mother was a respectful woman who thought highly of her body, believed that the body was a temple, that if that man's looking for that, that's not necessarily means he's judging. He just looking for a woman more like his mom. And I've heard several women say, well, if you want a woman like your mama, you need to go and marry your mama. But a lot of guys to this day still want women like their mom.
But that's just like a woman too. Women look at how you, I look at how you treat me and want a man like you.
Yeah, and vice versa when it comes to the daughters. The daughters want men like their fathers.
Right, that's right.
And so when she see a guy who jumping on a female and she didn't see that growing up in her home, that's gonna make her turn against the guy who she see hits a female or curse her out or call out her name. She like, okay, he's not for me. I thought I liked him, but he's not like my dad. So, you know, I'm not going to talk to him. So it's not necessarily judging. It's like what Austin said, everybody going to have their preferences. And if you don't fit that profile, then he just letting that woman know that that type of woman don't fit his profile. So it's not necessarily judging because everybody grown, you do what you want. If you want to screw a different guy every other month,
do you think
that's your vagina and that's your business.
Right. And even dealing with a woman, when dealing with women, even when you're dealing with a man, you know, you need to look at how he treated his mother or the person that raised him, because how he treated his mother or the person that raised him could be an indication how you're gonna get treated. So you got to look at those indicators. Sometimes men can grow out of it, but if they don't have a good connection with the person, that individual that they raise, how he treat the women in his family is going to be an indication how he treats you. And I think a lot of times our women, and we do as men, we just, the red flags, we just put them under there because we like them, but we got to start having hard conversations and really have the ability to be prepared to walk away when we see that you're not what I'm looking for. I like you a lot, but you're not what I'm looking for. And we got to have the strength to walk away. Okay, the sex good, but you got too many red flags, you know? So we got to look at it and say, do we have the strength to walk away and say, I need to find on what I'm suitable for? Or do you want to hang it here and run with the risk of the consequences that can come with dealing with that person that you're dealing with? And that's real. That's real.
And I want to go back to
go ahead.
The comment regarding counseling, marriage counseling, or relationship counseling. And you know, marriage counseling or relationship counseling is not designed to keep you together. It's designed to help you figure out what direction you want to go. And give you things that you can work on either within you as the individuals or as the couple, and try to make your relationship successful if you decide that that's something that you want to do. But it's not designed to keep you together. I don't want that to be, you know, something that people go into counseling
thinking it's going to save their relationship.
Right.
Because I thought that's why people did it, couples therapy, to try to see if that, you know, can they work out the differences and stay together. But like I said, a lot of times I see them break up.
Yeah, and at the root of that breakup, man, is a broken agreement. When you have individuals that say they're gonna do something and they don't do it, or they keep disappointing, you know, so a lot of times we can write checks and not cash it when we're meeting somebody. And when we get in relationships with people, we really not the person who they thought we was because we knew it. You know, so you dealing with individuals, they done sold you a dream. Now the dream that got real, and counseling, man, can bring something out. It can exacerbate and really bring out the real intention of why you in this relationship with this person. Some people just need a place to live. Some people don't. I done seen people live with people for years and didn't love them. Did not love them. They just wanted a place to live. and when the opportunity came by and they got on their feet, they left. So you know it's a situation that you always got to be mindful of when you're dealing with people, man. So you know, with counseling do help because I've been through it. But it kind of give you a mirror of yourself, and a lot of times, you know, people don't want to look at themselves. In my opinion.
Well, this is true.
Yeah. So let me see. Sometimes it take a breakup. That's right. Latanya, it does take a breakup for you to realize how good a person can be. Because sometimes we take people for granted. We be with people, they, you know, and from married couples, I've talked to married couples. They've been married for 50 years. Is that life, that daily life is redundant. And sometimes you're gonna have your ups and downs, and sometimes you're gonna love that person, sometimes you gonna not love that person. And you have to be careful in those cycles of when you feel you don't love that person no more. It's just the cycle that you're going through. And you got to really deal with the real human being that that person is. I think we in love with the idea of marriage and the idea of relationships, but that everyday struggling with that person, dealing with them person's shortcomings, dealing if they leave the seat up, if they can't manage money, they got psychological issues. A lot of us really just don't want to deal with the daily life. What did you say, Latanya? You said life is lived daily. No human being can see what's going to happen tomorrow. That's true. That's true. That's why it's so good to get as much as you can today so you can deal with tomorrow. You know, Black always tell me to walk on, you know, he walked by faith. You know, the events that took place, it proved that. Today it proved that you got to walk by faith, man, and just trust, put your faith in whatever creator you believe in, whatever higher power you believe in. Because a lot of times, you know, human beings can disappoint you if you're not careful. And that's just the real spiel there.
But
so that's real.
But going back to what we were saying,
go ahead, Jack.
As it relates to can women do what men do? And the answer is yes, but you will have different consequences as it relates to what you do.
Right. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, because like you say, everybody has free will. Yeah. So yes, a woman can do everything a man do. She can talk crazy as far as relationship wise. She can talk to him crazy. She can sneak around. She can cheat. She can do all that. Yeah. But even James Austin and I went to school with someone that was highly sexually active, and she ended up having a hysterectomy while in high school. So it's not the same results. Whereas a guy who was sexually active at the age of 12 and steady screwing to this day, and he all he did was produce a few kids, but he didn't have to, you know, ain't nothing happened to his sexual organ where he had to get his nuts cut off or nothing. Right. But having too much sex can damage a woman's body if she's not taking care of herself.
Yeah, and the studies show that women that engage in a lot of sex from men, you gotta, of course, you gotta endanger with STDs, depression. Depression is associated with promiscuity, and I know a few women that have gotten hysterectomies because of the men they done dealt with.
But I bet you she wasn't the men 17 and 18 years old.
No, they was about 25. You know what I'm saying? They was in their 30s having hysterectomies, pretty women, because of, you know, what men did to them, you know, and how, you know, a lot of the men that they dealt with was kind of well endowed and kind of ruined that for them. So now you done broke up with that man, you wasn't married to him, and you had a hysterectomy. And now you got to go. You going through life. You may want children, and the guy you meet, he may want children, but that may not be something that you can give him. that's not something you can give him because of the hysterectomy.
And
so it's a lot of consequences behind, behind.
And it's not what men did to them, it's what they participated in.
Yeah. That's true. Well, I'm talking about the thrust and
I know, but that's what they participated in.
That's true.
So it's not like they were just doing that to them. They allowed that. They wanted that. Right. So they participated in that. So they contributed to whatever their situation is.
Right. That's right, man. And it's a lot that can go on in your life that dealing with so many sexual partners can bring, as a woman. Like I said earlier, man, you dealing with comparison. You may got a good guy, but the sex ain't good. Hold on 1 second. Let me see something. Hold up. Oh, my bad. There we go. Yeah, but you dealing with that. And hey, Black. Yeah. Okay. But yeah. So you dealing with that, and it's a lot that can go on with that, man. So.
And then to address April's statement, saying because in the back of your mind it'll always be there. They can never be trusted, so cheating will destroy the relationship. So with that, there are some people that can deal with a person and their past.
Yeah,
there are some people that just have that ability. There are some people that can deal with adultery. There are some people that just can get over that, and there are some that cannot. So those things can destroy your relationship, any type of future that you may have foreseen with this person prior to these acts or this discovery.
Yeah.
So if you met a person in a adulterous relationship,
right,
and you ended up being with that person, and then they display some of the same behaviors that they showed while you all were creeping, then it's going to be in the back of your mind that this person may be doing the same thing.
But Jay, would you really get with a woman, man, you done cheated with though? Would you really do that?
Nope.
Do you believe in karma?
Well, I mean, I dated karma one time and it didn't work out.
Okay, so you believe in that? Okay,
yeah.
So
I mean, karma should be good now. We dated, we had our relationship, it didn't work out, so we should be good right now.
Man, I think that cheating, because people get cheated on, and cheating is rough. You don't have to be. I could just imagine when you married and you commit adultery, and it's been going on for years. You had no idea. Hold on, I get him back on. You had no idea that individual was cheating. You just knew it happened. And then all of a sudden, 15 years later, you find out this whole time they've been cheating with somebody else. They got a whole family. That's rough. That's not something that you can play with somebody in their life and who they are. You know what I'm saying? So it's real. So, man, free love is not free. Free love comes at a cost. Free love comes at a cost of heartache. Free love can come at a cost of destroying somebody to the point where they don't shake back from it. Some people walk around in this life destroyed because somebody in their life that they love dearly hurt them through cheating, or they held back some information that they didn't really come forth with, and as a result of them finding out, it destroyed them as an individual. So no, it's very important in us as individuals in the Black community, man. We have a problem with being honest We don't want to run nobody off. I think the campaign should be. We should be honest and be straight up.
Yeah, because
be straight up with one another.
Because if you're honest and you're open and you're honest, and that person remains in your life, then that relationship may survive.
Yeah.
If you don't have any secrets, if you told them your body count and you told them that you, whatever it is,
right,
and that person remains there, then that's probably somebody that wants to be.
Then probably somebody want to be with. It was a rapper, man, that was on the Breakfast Club. I forgot his name. He said, "Man, I'm not faithful to one woman." He said, "Man, I have plenty women." He said, "And the women that come in my life," he said, that I tell them. He said that, man, look, you're not the only woman. He said, I got other women in my life. He said, you're going to have to deal with me dealing with other women. And if you want to be a part of that, you can roll. If not, I'm just telling you up front what you're dealing with. And he was being fair. He said, I'm not ready to settle down and be married to no woman. He said, I tell them women what it is. And some of them run with the play and some of them don't. And I respect that. And we have to be really honest about where we at, as individuals. Is being honest and truthful about what we got going on, man. Yeah, but until that happens, it's going to be a serious issue.
And that will prevent a lot of the heartache and a lot of the damaged people that are walking around right now.
Yeah,
because,
they've been hurt. They've been hurt in relationships.
Right. And some people, they feel that they can change someone. And again, ladies, listen to me. Fellas, listen to me. You cannot change anyone. They have to want to change for you.
Right. That's right. Let me see. Ms. White, she said, Tawana say, will any of you look down on a certain type of woman? Will you tell a woman your true expectation? I wouldn't look down I don't look down on women. I respect women where they at. Whatever they got going on, if I choose not to engage in it, I won't. If I deal with it under better judgment, then I get handed whatever comes my way based on who she is. He said, will you tell the woman your true? Yeah, I tell her the true expectation. And I want her to tell me what she expect out of me if we're going to be in a relationship. Because if it's based on a lie and we based on something that we just want to hook up with each other and I want to have sex with her, so I'm going to hold this off. Because a lot of times we driven by sex. Our decisions is driven by sex. And we don't want to be honest with each other because we want the sex. So we just gotta be honest with one another. So I'm gonna tell a woman my true expectations and be real with her.
And I used to tiptoe around those hard subjects because I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings or I didn't want to lose that person for that particular time period. So I said what I needed to say, and I was very calculated in my delivery of what I said.
Right.
But now I'm open, and I'm like, if you want me, this is what you got to deal with.
Right.
So tell me what I'm going to have to deal with, so I can identify if I want you.
Right.
I'm not sugarcoating. I'm not lying.
Right.
And
yeah.
So Miss White, you was looking for a yes or a no.
Yes or no. It's a yes and a no.
It's
a yes and a no.
So my thing is it's a yes because I'm going to tell them my expectations.
Yeah.
Well, a yes and a no, but I don't look down on whoever that particular person is.
Yeah. That's right. She said you had to go through it to come to it. Yeah, that's true, to go through it to come to it. But a lot of times we can avoid things. Sometimes some of us we see the road closed, but a lot of us will go around that barrier and go down that road instead of just heeding the sign and say, okay, the road closed, we're going to back up. But my house right there, and I'm trying to get to the road, or I'm trying to get to a place that I want to go, but this road closed. Now the road may have a ditch in it, it may have something in it. And a lot of times that's what we do. We go around the barriers and around the signs and not really deal with what we're dealing with because we like these people. We want to be with them. And it's understandable. You see somebody, Latanya, that fine looking man, and you see him and you want him, you know, that being honest is a trial. You know, you want to make sure you know what it is. If that's somebody you want to be with and hang out with and be with, that can be a trial on you and being straight up. But I think the straight up time comes in when you considering being serious with that individual. But if y'all just hanging out, he don't need to really know nothing about you if y'all not really serious. But when y'all get serious, then that's when the discussion comes.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I think.
I mean, I've been with women that I shouldn't have been with because I knew I didn't have a relationship with them. But and I was calculated.
Good night.
I was calculated in my delivery.
Yeah.
And we went through whatever we went through, and I probably damaged some people.
Right.
With that.
Right.
But like you said, you had to go through it to get to it. And yeah, I had to come to a realization of what I was doing and the damage that I was causing and how I was interrupting people's lives as I did what I did.
Right. Right. That's right. That's right. And it's real, man. So, you know, we just got to be honest with one another, man. Man, this was a great discussion that we're having. We're talking about are there certain things women shouldn't do that men can do. Look like Black in the background. I think that we probably gonna hit the needle line and land this plane. And just get some last comments in. You got any last comment?
Yeah. I've said this before, you know, do whatever makes you happy, but don't let a moment ruin your lifetime.
Right.
So be conscious of what you're doing and how you're doing it, but know that there's a consequence at the end of what you do.
Right. That's real. And I'm gonna say this: we got to start having those hard conversations, and having those hard conversations is gonna, it's gonna really reduce or mitigate the heartache because you're dealing with individuals based on the truth. You're not dealing with the individuals based on guessing. You got actual facts. So now the ball is in your court and dealing with the hard, those hard questions, and the person don't want to hear the hard questions. That can be an indication that person may not be for you. So it could be something that we can't deal with, and we like this person, but this person not fitting the criteria. And it's easier said than done, but I feel that if we ask the hard questions, we ask them real questions, then we should be good. Hold on, let me see the Black got the last round. Black.
Yeah.
Black, go ahead and land this plane, man. We got the last comment.
Yeah, like you say, they can do it, but women have more consequences hoeing than men do.
Okay. That's cool. Man. Yeah, this was a good conversation tonight, man. We want to thank I want to thank April Bias. I grew up with her. Miss Latanya White. April Bias is a cake decorator, so she does real good cake. She do cake designs and all types of cakes, so she do real good in business.
And the questions that and the statement
was good. The
statements Latanya White was making, I wouldn't be surprised if she start on podcast and
right.
Got
to be a guest on her. That's because we can't wait. Yeah, so we appreciate y'all. So with that, man, we're gonna go ahead and land this plane, man. Black, go ahead, do what you do. We're gonna have a good evening. We want to thank everybody for coming out. We want to thank Jay. I want to thank Jay also. I want to thank DJ Black and myself, Phantom J. We just want to say peace. Man, we land this plane. We spoke on it. We speak on it. Go ahead and take us home, Black.
You already know what's happening, so we might as well speak on it. We out.
Peace. Out. We out of here. Later. Y'all stay up.